Now with Olamide Odekunle, and she's standing by to bring us her interesting stories. Olamide, good morning.
Good morning, Veronica. Good morning, Ria. Good morning to the rest of you. Good morning,
Brian,
guys.
you didn't say anything.
I've got some good stories for you guys today. I hope you enjoy them.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has our finger constantly on the pulse and our eye on the street. And if it's a trending story, we're going to chop it up on here very professionally. In our first story, yesterday, a viral video captured a woman confronting a street sweeper in Ikoyi for allegedly involving her young daughter in the job. Now, in the clip, the woman accuses the street sweeper of engaging in child labor and insisting that the girl should actually not be out working, but rather in school. Well, of course, social media users were furious about the woman's interference in what they deemed to be none of her business. Take a look for yourself.
Now when he told me that somebody posted, I said, oh God. Jesus.
Now, in the clip that did not show, the woman actually confronted the mother and said, your child should be in school. She made the child drop the broom. Subsequently, as you saw in the video, after all the backlash she faced online, the woman actually apologized and said that she's going to help this family. The street sweeper said she's only earning 19,000 naira per month. And this woman who initially started confronting her now said that she's going to pay her a monthly stipend. But lots of communities in West Africa actually have young children, help them on the job. We know that in Nigeria especially, we have young children who go to the shops with their parents after school and help out in the family business. But the question is this child labor or is it commonplace? The Child Protection Act of 2003 actually says that children should not, under the age of 18, should not engage in any hazardous or detrimental act to their well-being. Was this really detrimental? I mean, she's with her mom sweeping the streets, but let's take a look at social media. Majid says, I'm glad it ended well, but how come nobody is talking about the husband sleeping peacefully at home while the woman leaves to sweep with her daughter at 4 a.m.? Shout out to every mother struggling to put food on the table during this hardship. I agree, she did what she had to do. But I have to ask you, Veronica, Ria, Etoma, and Ibrahim, that's a mouthful. Do you think that sweeping the streets crosses the line? Is it child labor or just our culture? Very quickly.
Well, she stepped out we didn't see her sweeping. We only saw her holding the broom. So she might have been there just watching her mother do the needful, and that was it. But I think that the activist, so-called, who did this could have done this quietly without putting it up on social media and making a buzz out of it. If you wanted to support them, support them. And we know that it is commonplace in Africa for children to help out their parents, whatever businesses they do. Like you mentioned earlier, after school, they go and, support them. So she could have done whatever it is she wanted to do quietly, ask the woman questions, and support her in any way she wanted to do without making noise.
Just to quickly add to what Veronica has said, I'm sorry to say, but I feel like what the woman did was eye service. Because I don't see any problem with a child helping the parent. I've helped my mom a lot in Ghana. And then people are saying that, where is the father? What if the father is dead? I think we really need to be sensitive to things like this. And there's no problem for a child helping the mother. In fact, this is where they learn character. This is where they learn, that you work and you make money. So I don't like the way the woman did it. She could have done it better. It looks like a lot of eye service. I think when we want to help, you can help close doors. You don't need to put it out on social media.
You actually know the woman, because a lot of comments I've read, regarding those who work directly with the woman or those who know the woman, said the way she even talked to some people, shut them down and all of that. So we should be able to draw the line between child rights and progressive activism. Some people just want to make names and all of that. So whatever it is, well, the social media had actually done very much justice, in reviewing what she's done.
Yeah, we have social media and everybody has an Android phone. So we have citizens journalism going on. And this might just be her intent, to create a buzz around herself. And that was the opportunity she found. If that's the case, then it's unfortunate, because in doing that, you brought out emotions from the woman. And everybody now knows she earns 19,000 naira a month.
Reminded her what brought her to that spot.
Brought her to that state. It was quite insensitive of her. Maybe you've gotten your buzz, but think of what you've done to that lady and her daughter.
Absolutely, and perhaps next time this woman should focus her efforts on the hawkers, child hawkers on the streets who don't even have parental supervision. But thank you guys so much for your input as always. Moving on now in our next story. The Kogi state government has placed a ban on rallies and public gatherings, citing security concerns and intelligence reports of potential violence in Kogi Central. But this announcement comes just as the suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan was set to make her much anticipated homecoming in the state today. Now, of course, given the political climate in the state, the timing of this ban has raised eyebrows, with many questioning whether it's purely about security or if politics is at play. The government also stated that anyone entering Kogi with a convoy or security personnel must get prior clearance from their respective security agencies. That's interesting. Let's take one tweet. This is Governor Ododo of Kogi State. Ben Samuel says, Natasha Akpoti is the only credible opposition in Kogi, and she will send them packing in 2027. Why are they all scared of this fearless woman? Well, Ben Samuel, some people might actually argue that with the rise of the insecurity in the country, as what we've just seen with the Uromi 14 killings, that this is actually timely, and maybe it's not a personal attack on her. This is best for the Nigerian collective. It's quite understandable here. But we'll move to our next story very quickly. A video making the rounds on social media captures a tense moment in Uromi, Edo State, where local youths appear to be clashing with alleged northern newcomers. Now, this is coming amidst heightened and radical tensions following the recent brutal killings of the Uromi 14. Take a look at this video.
But I come over me now. They got drop on for me this night. What to make them drop on now? Eh? Oh yeah, Mona. See you now, you dey cover your nose. You dey cover your nose, Abi. Come here. Oh yeah, Mona, move now.
We have seen, for example, with the case of Sunday Jackson, who was sentenced to death for self-defense against a Fulani herdsman. We've also seen the women of Ama Ehufu local government in Enugu State. They're protesting the killing by Fulani herdsmen. And it seems to me that there's often a silent cry by communities before mob justice takes place. This is the honest truth. And I feel that if the government had a detailed and keen eye to step into these things before it takes a radical turn, we could be saving a lot of lives. But let's take two tweets on this. This shook the country, I believe. Senator Shehu Sani says, everything was recorded in a video. Arresting the Edo murderer should not be a difficult thing to do for our security agencies. Justice must be done in this case to set an example, avert reoccurrence, and save other travelers in other parts of the country. But I want to take a different twist to this right now. In a surprising twist, there's a young herdsman who caught my eye. He's from the north, and he's known as Ibrahim Dan Arewa on TikTok. And he's taking quite a different approach. He uses social media to engage with Nigerians and try to attempt to challenge stereotypes about Fulani people. Take a look at this young man. I don't know what you guys think.
Say that yes, it's your right, but Mekuna, they try rent house and stop living inside bush, using cows to destroying people farm around the country. Thank you for the good advice, Mr. Mayo. I am a Fulani by tribe with this kind of understanding, let me tell you. In my understanding, 70% of the villagers, they have no business that they're surviving with their family but farming.
That we should be united. How can people of different religions, different culture and language become one?
This is very, very interesting because for the long time, Fulani herdsmen have been faceless. And so to see this young man putting not a face to Fulani herdsmen, but to actually stand and say, I'm a Fulani herdsman and I'm different and I want to be integrated in society, just gives a bit more of an interesting perspective. But despite all the ongoing unrest in the country, his videos have sparked conversations and many Nigerians are interacting with him. In a time of this deep, deep division, I have to ask the question, could digital platforms, bring an unexpected bridge to an understanding despite all this death and bloodshed? Do we have any social media tweets on that? Atiku also says, I am deeply saddened by the reports of the tragic killing of some hunters in Edo State. My heartfelt condolences go out to their families and loved ones. Oria, Veronica, Etoma, and Ibrahim. I'm never going to get used to this mouthful. You guys, we are seeing a young Fulani herdsman who is seemingly speaking out and saying, I'm not one of them. What does this do for representation in the North amidst all this tension?
Perhaps he's speaking up would address the matter of ethnic profiling. But I'm most interested in the story coming out of Kogi State because that's my state. And I understand what is going on there. There might be political undertones to that decision because although Natasha has come out to say that she is still going to Kogi State as it is and that all that is being said is a rumor, if you recall that before she emerged, she had the back and forth with the former governor of that state who now gave the mandate to the current governor, Ododo, now as we speak. And so there are those who are saying whatever the decision the current governor is making is influenced by his predecessor, and that is why we are seeing the voice of Jacob and the hands of Esau and all of those happening right now.
Right. I'm very, very much... I'm at home with what the young guy did, that video addressing people, whether it's Fulani, whether it's Yoruba or Hausa. We just must believe that we are in one country and we are created in this country for one singular reason, for us to put humanity first, kindness, honesty, and all of the things that bind us together. So regardless of what you do, make sure you go about your businesses without having to destroy other people's livelihoods. So we say, well done, young man. And we want more of this on social media.
I like the fact that he came out, Dang Arewa himself, and that's a beautiful one. Just saying, Wallahi shikenang, yai the kyo. I like the fact that he came out to speak. It's just showing that, not everybody is bad. There must be one good egg somewhere, and he's just trying to tell people that, not everybody is actually bad. Let's give him a big ups for that. But also just to join to what Veronica said, I think I really agree with them that the tensions are high in Kogi State. And to have Natasha back, anything can happen. We've been talking about mob justice and all of that. So I think that security in Kogi should really, really be tight because we do not know what oppositions want to do. We don't know what's going to happen. So I think with that, I really agree with the securities, to take place in Kogi for her return.
I've always advocated for mass education. In everything, security, farming, education, everything, politics. There has to be mass education. Nigerians have to know. We have the advantage of social media and somehow we are not using it effectively. So that young man that came out and did that, if you were close by, I would have given you a hug. We need people like that.
I just wanted to give him money.
No, you can give him something else other than money. Ladies always talk about money, but I know you can always give him something else.
Like what?
Don't worry.
I think he just needs a listening ear from us. I think he needs a listening ear and a fair chance.
We need it.
That's right.
All right, Olamide, I hear that our time is up.
Oh, I miss you guys already.
And we miss you too. But interesting stories from trending now, and I hope that the necessary is done with all of the stories that we have reacted to. But this is where we draw the curtains on the program for today. Let's let you know that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View with the ladies, and afterwards is This Morning with Yori Folari. Do stay safe. Bye.